Hey, this is Heidi Dawson. If you love all things health and wellness and style of any kind, hang out here with me each week. I'm obsessed with never-ending improvement, and it's all in an effort to help each one of us live a wildly successful lifestyle. Subscribe today so you don't miss a thing.
Hi, guys. Welcome to episode 608 of the Wildly Successful Lifestyle Podcast. What is going on out there? I hope this episode finds you happy and being your best self, even if that means you're taking it one day at a time, because Lord knows we're not going to always be perfect. We're not going to ever be perfect, not with our workouts, not with our diet or our thoughts or our relationships, because the goal isn't perfection, right? It's excellence on our terms and what it means for us to be personally wildly successful. And that isn't going to look like someone else's. I mean, my goodness, I have dear friends, Renee, my friend Lena, and if I tried to keep up with their workouts, I would be a wreck because they are beasts. So I just let them be inspiration for me, not comparison. There's a big difference there. Okay, so not what excellence looks like to someone else, but what it is for you, what it is for me. And a big part of that is taking care that we don't let our thoughts rule our life, unless they're good, of course. But let's be real, our natural human tendency is negative thoughts first. Literally, our brain gives 5 times more weight to negative information than positive information. It's totally, it's totally backwards, but it is how we are wired. Kept our ancestors alive, but for us today, it's really just exhausting us. And I was thinking about this because I saw a video this week of a psychologist who was talking about the concept called the wild horse effect. I don't know if you've heard this or not. It was fascinating to me. So of course I have to share it with you. And the concept was this. There was a wild horse just running free on the plains, living his best life. And one evening, a little bat swoops down and nips him on the neck. Just a sting, nothing fatal. And the horse panics, freaks out, takes off at a dead run, trying to outrun that pain. He runs all night across creeks, over hills. He ran until his heart literally gave out and he dropped dead. You see, the bite didn't kill him. The running did. His reaction to the bite is what took him out. And I was thinking about that story a lot and why it affected me the way it did, because it really hit me. I was like, man, that's impactful, but I wasn't sure why. I was asking myself, what is this trying to show me? And after sitting with it for a little bit, I realized I was fascinated because I'm living this. I've lived this for a long time. In a way, I've been that running horse since I was 13. I will explain. I'm going to set the scene for you. One of my favorite things to do when I was a teenager, it was around 13, 12 in that area, when you want to roller skate. That was one of my favorite things to do, was go roller skating. And our friends would go roller skating every Sunday, and I always wanted to go. And sometimes I would get to, but other times we just didn't have the money to go. Now, so one Sunday night, I got to go and I rode with my friends. My parents had given me just enough money to get into the skating rink and also maybe for a Coke. I thought it would be fine, right? Well, afterwards, everybody decides that we're going to Pizza Hut. I'm with my friends and their family and the other families. And so we all went to Pizza Hut. Mind you, I had enough money for skating rental and one Coke. So now here they are. We're at this Pizza Hut. I'm riding with them and they order these pizzas. Well, I didn't have pizza money. So I just sat there kind of laughing, not eating, sipping my Coke, pretending I wasn't hungry, while my face sort of burned hotter and hotter. And I wanted the floor to swallow me in. On the ride home, I was so embarrassed and I felt so just mad. I was mad at my parents for not giving me enough money. I was mad at money for not having enough of it. I was mad at the universe, pretty much mad at everybody on the way home. But I made a vow right then. I will never, ever feel that broke and embarrassed again. Never. When I'm an adult, I am going to control that. I will not feel that way. And honestly, I really haven't let myself do that. I've worked hard. I've built a beautiful life, traveled the world, married the love of my life. I've created a design business I'm proud of. I have this little podcast I love. And I am loving every bit of my life. I'm not complaining. But here's the part that kind of hurts to say out loud about this. That 13-year-old girl is still running. Like, she's still part of me and she's still running. She's not running from enjoying life. She's running from ever looking like she doesn't belong in the rooms that she's now in and sometimes invited to. mean, I'll catch myself thinking like those 7-figure whole house projects, those are for designers who grew up with trust funds and silver spoons, not for the girl who couldn't afford pizza after skating. I'll see a dream project in a magazine or a dream client and feel that pull. And then that old sting whispers, careful, you step too far forward and everyone is going to see that you don't belong. So I stay in the lane that feels safe. I'm talented. I know I am with design. It's an innate thing. And I have had many successes, but not too big, not too visible, not too silver spoon. And that's the truth. And it does kind of hurt. You see, that bat bite was 20 minutes of embarrassment in 1985-ish, but I'm still letting it decide how big I'm allowed to dream in 2025. And I know I'm not the only one. I know that. Now, some of you guys may not have the same bat bite as me. Maybe you got nipped by a different bat. Maybe yours was one harsh criticism early on, and maybe from your mom for feeling yourself a little too much. And now every time someone gives you a bigger stage, you hear, don't get too full of yourself. Or maybe yours was a partner who stepped out one time. Just once, and now every late night at work or random text message feels like proof it's happening again. So you check phones and you ask questions and you build cases until the relationship suffocates. The original wound didn't kill the love. The running did. Or maybe yours was one craving you labeled bad, so you white knuckle control until the rebound is worse than the original craving ever was. The original wound is almost always small. The running is what absolutely wears us out and really keeps us small. So here's what I've been practicing. When I feel that old, flinch come up, the one that says play it safe or don't look broke or don't look like you don't belong, I'm learning to ask myself, okay, what am I actually afraid of? What am I afraid of right now? And what's the worst that can happen? And when I sit with it and I get quiet, that answer is almost always the same. I'm afraid of feeling like that girl at Pizza Hut who couldn't afford dinner. That's it. So I'm starting to let that little girl know, hey, we can afford pizza now. We can afford the dream client. We can afford to be seen. The bat's long gone. But I've been running like it's still hanging on. So here's the point. I really want you and me to carry out of this episode today. The size of your life will never be bigger than the size of the sting you're still waiting to feel. I mean, if you refuse to never feel embarrassed or never feel broke or never feel rejected or wrong or foolish again, your dreams have to stay small enough where none of those things can happen. Think about that. My challenge to you this week is when you feel an old story popping in your head telling you to play it safe. Maybe it's you want to invite a new friend to dinner or you want to take a new gym class, but you're not going to do it because you have something holding you back. You're afraid of something. Stop and think about what it is you're afraid of and call it what it is. Maybe I'm afraid of feeling like the kid who got laughed at in 7th grade or the girl who couldn't afford a piece of pizza. And then ask yourself, is it gonna kill me if it shows up for 20 minutes? Really? And in that moment, you get to choose if you're gonna keep running or if you're gonna take one step into the bigger field, into that next life. You no longer have to run anymore. I promise you that. Share this episode with 3 people who have a big life waiting for them. I love you guys. I'll talk to you in a few days.
Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends because we're just going to keep going bigger and better places together, and I love that about us. Talk to you in a few days.